Over the weekend, there is this video that was trending about a certain DJ. He's a celebrity. His name is DJ Brown.
Yeah.
Apparently, he had recorded his wife committing suicide, and he did nothing about it. Actually, he was gassing her, telling her, "Zichanganye tu, mix it," because she was already intoxicated with alcohol. And it got me thinking, since we are talking about healthy and unhealthy love, what could have brought this, like what could have made the DJ not react? My name is Kate Roiro. Welcome to today's episode, and as usual, we are joined by our resident Dr. Joy Eve. Kindly, doctor, share your views on the story because it really icked me.
Okay, so so according to my mind and according to that situation, I can say humans are really complex and relationships are a bit complex. You can't necessarily say that there's a specific reason or even like understand without actual facts of what was actually happening in that relationship. So until we can actually get facts of what was happening in that person's mind and in that relationship, it can be really difficult to actually know what causes the person to actually get there. But we do know whatever was happening, somebody actually like recording somebody commit suicide is actually completely unhealthy and not right at all.
And it was in front of the kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Of the house help.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time she was, giving up, it's the kid who came, and the dad was like, "Pea mama maziwa."
Yeah.
Like he never moved. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, in that relationship, you can definitely see those hints of unhealthy circumstance, unhealthy ways of dealing with a situation. So especially when you're dealing with a person who is constantly mentioning that I want to commit suicide, and an inability to handle an individual who actually wants to commit suicide.
Yeah.
So if this is something that has been recurring, it's something that should have been addressed a long time ago. And people just assuming that people are actually joking when they say they want to commit suicide is something that the society needs to be very careful about.
And actually I was reading in the comments, like people were, I don't know how to call it, making it superstitious.
Yeah.
Like they were saying, like suicide is a curse,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it runs in the family. I don't know, like we don't take it as a disorder or as something, concerned with mental health. We don't even talk about it enough.
Yeah, suicide is actually a sign of loss of hope and hopelessness. So as a therapist, when you meet a person who has gotten to the to a place where they want to commit suicide, it means they've completely lost all hope, and they feel like the best way is actually to leave that situation, or to leave, to just leave their bodies and not be in the world. So a person who constantly says, I want to commit suicide, I want to die, it means they've actually lost a lot of hope. And hope actually comes with depression. It means it's somebody who has been depressed for the longest time. So as I said, until you get facts of what was actually depressing that person, you may never necessarily, understand why the DJ would actually,
Yeah, but also in my thinking, in the comments still, there's this lady who said, like, they're neighbors, and every time they had an argument, the lady would, threaten that she will kill herself, that she had tried committing suicide several times. So I think also it's emotional blackmail that maybe got to the DJ. That's my taking. That maybe got to the DJ. When you, for example, you are in an abusive relationship, and every time you're beaten, you go running to your parents,
Okay.
and then like you go back,
Mm.
and it happens back and forth.
Mm.
I mean, sometimes people will give up or think like you don't want to leave. You're the one who don't want to leave, and they will become immune to that. So every time you tell them that maybe you're being beaten, they will not react.
Yeah.
So I think in my taking, if the lady had attempted so many times, maybe it got to the DJ, and he never took it seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, there's something, you know, as you're mentioning and you're saying this story, I'm thinking of emotional intelligence. You know, when things are actually heated, who said that it's the best thing to actually handle a situation is committing suicide, or even using suicide as a reason to actually solve a specific situation. If this situation is beyond you, you can have two ways: either seek a professional, or if the person is not willing to change, you can actually choose your peace of mind. And what we normally tell people, it's better two healthy homes than one toxic home. You know, that's actually emotional. And so many people do struggle with lack of emotional intelligence. You know, when you see a person who is constantly using blackmail, it means they actually do not have emotional intelligence, and they can also like damage you, and especially if they are not willing to seek help. Either they were hurt kitambo, or you know, something just causes them to act the way they are. So when you notice there's that inability to handle situations, and the person doesn't want to seek help, some people say some people are in therapy because of other people who do not want to go.
And you know, Joy, surprisingly, there are some people who are addicted to this kind of love, this toxic love. Like they are on the edge when they, you know, like they feel elated, like ukichapano, and then you have passionate sex. Like lazima uchapo ndivyo, like ikue ina spark that love. So probably also what wengine, they get so comfortable in the situation because it works for them. They are addicted to that toxicity. But also I think there is another set of people that we don't consider because of our selfishness, because there are kids involved, like in this situation, and that's such an unhealthy environment.
Definitely. I think sometimes, as we've been talking, parenting is a skill. You know, as a parent, you need to be very conscious about what you're exposing your children, because whatever you're exposing your children, it's what they are going to like experience all through.
And you have actually mentioned something that maybe they had issues they had not dealt with from before, and imagine these kids growing with the same issues because their parents never solved those issues. They have passed them to the kids, and then the kids
actually do end up passing them. Because what happens is that if a child is exposed to a particular environment and see dad and mom are used to quarreling, so this is normal. So when they do grow up and they have their own relationships, they will see as if fighting in a relationship is actually a normal thing. Why? Because I've seen it in my life, so you know, and I think that's why it's so important. Just take time and honestly understand yourself. If you find yourself like you're really struggling in a relationship, you need to actually sit down. Sometimes I ask clients, please just sit down and let's just analyze, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you feeling the way you feel? Why are you unable to leave? Have you analyzed yourself? You know, is it fear? You know, and when you get to the root of it, then you can actually like question again and see the dysfunctionality. I
think, and it all goes down back to identity, because you can't sit down with yourself if you actually don't know what works for you.
Definitely. As we said, a lot of unhealthy relationships come from identity problems. They come from identity problems. Why do you feel like you need to kill yourself for someone to not leave you? You know, because you feel like maybe you're not worth it. Why do you feel like you can't step out if a person is honestly not willing to get help,
Yeah.
or even like work things out in the
Yeah.
relationship, why do you feel you need to stay there? Are you operating from a place of fear or from a place of hope? A person,
or also it can be, I don't know how to call it, maybe I call it a negative attachment. You know, there is a toxic attachment style, and you get addicted to that kind of toxicity, because I don't know if you've ever been a victim of toxic relationship. It can be very addictive very quickly, and it's very hard to leave.
It is. So I think it's addictive when you're not aware, you know, and awareness and knowledge empowers you to be able like to sit down and to live. But when you're not aware, then you're likely to just go through a limbo, and you're feeling like what happens is people who stay in toxic relationships, they have this hope that things are going to be okay. But then they actually don't realize that sometimes you can never change anybody who doesn't want to change.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think maybe because you're the professional here, please, like how if maybe the lady, let's say she was still alive, and either of the couple was your patient, like how best do you have helped them to handle this situation? Because there are people maybe heading to that direction already.
So I don't think I would have actually handled what's happening in the relationship. I would have gone directly to the identity. And I think one of the things I would have addressed and told the lady is that she needs to be able to find a sense of self-love, and that she finds out, you know, she knows that she's valuable, she's worth it, you know, and so that now when she deals with any conflict, she doesn't come from a place of fear and feeling unworthy, because these are the things that honestly causes somebody to want to commit suicide and deal with things from a place of toxic emotions, you know. So it just hits directly to the point, the identity, you know.
And also, what now can you tell to people out there, because there's a lot of hate going on around the DJ. I don't know, what can you tell, you know, the people who are spreading all that hate? He could be, you know, guilty or innocent. There's always two sides to a coin. What would you tell the people out there?
So until you have proper facts, I suggest that you really leave things to the investigators to get things clear and to remove things. If he's guilty, okay, but
Justice
sometimes
will take its course.
So but beating somebody down, what if the person is actually innocent?
There's a lot of damage that has been done.
Definitely. So as long as you do not know what happened, you're just a human, and it could happen to anybody. You could find yourself in such as I said, don't put yourself in a pedestal and you feel like some things only happen to some people. Can you be human and know it could happen to anybody? And also know judgment does not help anybody. So know you're human, they're human, and it happens, you know. So until things are clear, so usijione like it can only happen to them. What if you are the one who found yourself in that situation? You did not think your spouse can actually commit such a situation, and wow, they're dead. And everyone is saying, my God, you killed the person. And you're like, I did not know they would actually get here, you know? So, I mean, like, until things are clear, investigation has been done, the facts have been removed and everything, I suggest you really try and stop judging. How about now the third party? What do you think is happening to the kids' mind? And how are they supposed to be, you know, taken care of, moving on from there in terms of, you know, how do you talk to them to get them out of that situation? Or so I think it's just that aspect of taking them to a healthy environment. So a lot has happened, and definitely they've been affected by trauma. Those kids are traumatized, and there's a lot of emotions going on with those kids. So I think the best way for children is to be taken to a very loving environment and given a space to talk, given a space of validation, and you know, if they are validated and helped to understand that sometimes parents can make mistakes and it's not their fault, I think they're in a position to actually move on well and not, you know, see as if this is normal, because things happen and kids can be involved, but if they're helped to understand and they're helped to know it's not your fault, and you're still loved, you're still going to have, you know, you may miss mom and everything, but you know, we are here for you, you're going to be fine. You know,
Wow, I'm sure we can go on and on and on. And actually about the kids, you know, the internet never forgets. So do not discriminate the dad. He could be innocent in all this, and he could be guilty, and the law will take its course. And that's all we had for today. Thank you, Joy, for joining in.
Thank you.
See you next time. My name is Kate Shoiro, and our doctor here, Joy. Continue subscribing and sharing this content. We will see you next time, same time.
Yes, thank you.